Picture this. After all of your wacky and wild adventures on planet Namek, you find yourself in deep space after yoinking a spaceship from this blue Earth woman. You spend your days training in the vacuum of space under intense gravity, trying your absolute hardest to overcome the lingering damage done to your pride. Frieza killed you. He actually won. But Kakarot won too. Kakarot. The low-class maggot somehow achieved the legend you thought you'd obtain. The legend that had become all but dead to you. Kakarot became a Super Saiyan, killed Frieza, escaped planet Namek's destruction, then fucked off to some random planet and refused to be wished back to Earth. Like a true scumbag. And you respect that shit heavily, but you also hate the fact that Kakarot was the one to become a super monkey first, and the one to kill Frieza. Space Hitler was your target, your rival, but now, your new rival is taking care of him for you. You weren't strong enough, not then, and not now. So, you land back on Earth. Though, despite having endured the same grueling training as Kakarot, it wasn't enough. You still aren't a Super Saiyan, and Kakarot remains a step ahead of you. But at least it can't get any worse from here. Nothing could damage your pride more than a low-class Saiyan outshining yourself. Is what you would be saying had you landed on Earth and not been instantly bossed around by the bitchy blue Earth woman. The blue bitch, Bulma, bluntly points out how dirty and stinky you are. She then leads you to a shower and leaves a pair of clothes out for you as you begin washing your filthy monkey balls. But at least now you can say for sure that no further damage will be done to your ego. You just gotta finish this shower and continue pushing forward. You are Prince Motherfucking Vegetable, and there isn't one thing left in this godforsaken universe that can damage your pride. Right?
I swear the only thing I hate more than weaklings is the color pink. Son of a bitch!
What, still ticked off about the shirt?
No, well, yes, actually, I'm absolutely livid. But that's not the point! That idiot Kakarot failed! Frieza's still alive!
After changing into your totally badass new outfit, you sense the energy of Lord Frieza and his father, King Cold. The two intergalactic dictators are nearing Earth and fast. Turns out that Kakarot failed and Frieza's somehow still alive. You rush off with the beta male, Yamcha, and the two of you fly to a spot where you expect Frieza to land his ship. Shortly after you touch down, the rest of Earth's supposed warriors land nearby. We've got the Cuck, the Duck, the Slut, the Brat, the Mime, the Triclops, and the Green Man. Just a party of a few big-ass dudes ready to throw hands with some space Hitlers. And Bulma's here to watch from the corner, I guess. You then start talking and planning with the others. They're all worried that without Kakarot here, without a Super Saiyan, they won't stand a chance. You prepare to face Frieza despite their worries, but as you continue talking, Frieza's ship lands, and a third power can be sensed. Someone on the same level as Frieza and his father has just appeared out of thin air. Kakarot's brat assumes the energy must be his father. I mean, who else could it be? You and the others move to get a closer look, and you see Frieza get absolutely fucking obliterated in just a few seconds by a Super Saiyan with a sword. Though you find it hard to believe this mystery man is a Super Saiyan. He doesn't look like Kakarot or any Saiyan you ever knew. Which means if he is a Super Saiyan, then someone other than Kakarot achieved the legend. But that can't be possible. You only know of a few Saiyans that survived planet Vegeta's destruction, and none of them looked like this guy. It seems impossible, but it's staring you right in the face. Yet another Super Saiyan outshined you and defeated Frieza. And to top it all off, the Golden Warrior destroys Frieza's father just as quickly as he did his crotch goblin. The beverage of sorts then reverts back to his normal state as he turns to your group and greets you with a wave. The man claims to know when and where Kakarot is meant to return, so you and along with the group cautiously follow behind the purple stranger. If he's telling the truth, then maybe he knows Kakarot and maybe Kakarot taught him how to transform. That would explain a lot of what the fuck is happening. How this kid showed up out of the blue, how he's a Super Saiyan, why he's wearing a Capsule Corporation jacket, and how he knows where Kakarot would land. Plus, he keeps calling Kakarot by his Earth name, Goku. Nothing's really adding up here, just who the hell is this punk? These questions fill your mind as you stare down the supposed Saiyan and wait for Kakarot to land. For hours you sit, just waiting, and waiting, and...
Well, I don't see him, so you're wrong. I think you've been lying to us the whole time. There's no way you could... That could be anyone.
Just as quickly as Kakarot lands, he's whisked away by the purple stranger, leaving you to watch on from a distance as Kakarot talks with the man. As they talk, the two of them transform right then and there, leaving no more room for denial. The mystery kid is 100% a damn Super Saiyan. Kakarot and the stranger continue talking for a while, and you can't help but grow frustrated by being left in the dark like this. Luckily, you aren't left hanging for long. After the two super monkeys finish speaking, Kakarot returns and explains what the two of them discussed. 3 years from now, two powerful androids will attack South City, an attack that eventually leads to the death of every warrior on Earth. Apparently, the mystery kid is a time traveler, and he came to the past to warn everyone, which makes a hell of a lot more sense than what you were thinking. As if on cue, the time traveler's time machine rises to the sky and fades from existence as he returns to the future. Kakarot then explains how he survived Planet Namek's destruction and shows off his new, totally not broken O-fucking-P teleportation technique, instant transmission. All this lucky asswipe has to do is focus on someone's energy and poof, he can teleport instantly, as if the gap between you two wasn't big enough. At least this move doesn't seem hard to learn. All he had to do was go to Planet Yardrat and learn from the locals. You can get around to doing that eventually. After Kakarot finishes babbling on, everyone's focus returns to the looming threat of the androids, and Bulma suggests that you should all just take out the android's creator before he can create them. Just use the Dragon Balls to figure out where to find him. But you aren't too keen on this plan, neither is everyone else present. You're all warriors. Not only do you have honor and integrity, but you also crave a good fight. So you decline Bulma's plan no matter how risky that decision may be. Any challenge is a good challenge. Plus, this threat gives you 3 years of pure motivation for training. So you depart from the rest of the group and return to Capsule Corporation to train, undergoing even more intense gravity training, some push-ups, sit-ups, a few raw dog sessions with Bulma, and plenty of juice is all you'll need to become a Super Saiyan. Though, thanks to one of your sessions with Bulma, you got her pregnant with the little prince of all egos, Jr., but you had a shitty father figure in King Vegeta and also one in Nappa, so you don't know shit about parenting, which means it's time to take a page out of Kakarot's book and fuck off to space and go train. After some time, you find yourself on an empty wasteland of a planet as a storm rages around you, lightning, thunder, and big-ass meteors. You muster up all of your energy to defend your ship from destruction, to defend yourself from being stranded on this hellhole, but your body has grown stressed from undergoing gravity training for so long, and all of your strength isn't enough to stop the meteors crashing down. You're knocked to the rocks below you as all of your rage escapes your body. You don't care anymore. You don't care about besting Kakarot. You don't care if nobody watches part 1 to this video. You don't care if you live or die anymore. You let out the most emotional scream of your life as energy swirls around you and you're overcome by an immense golden aura. Just as you've given up hope, you're given the very thing you've been wanting all your life. You finally achieved the legend. With your newfound Super Saiyan badassery, you escape the hellish planet alive. You continue training with the new form for a while, learning to fully control it, to master it. Then, when 3 years have finally passed, you travel back to Earth and you instantly feel the energy of a fight, so you rush towards that motherfucker. When you arrive, you see Earth's warriors watching on as Kakarot gets his shit rocked by a fat clown and an old man. Either you're on acid or these are the androids. You're inclined to believe the latter, so you kick Kakarot out of the way and Yamcha takes the wounded Saiyan home to heal. Finally, no Kakarot, no purple stranger, just you and center stage. You begin taunting the bloated android as the old one launches on, leading to your ultimate reveal. You unveil your Super Saiyan form to the droids and warriors watching in a totally humble and non-showboaty way. You then battle the android, but it's more of a booty clapping than a battle as you shove your fist deep inside of the fat clown, tearing the droid's arm off and blowing it to smithereens after you've played with it a bit. Made sure it felt fear. The BBL android's energy absorbing ability proved to be useless in the face of brute strength. So with Buggy the Clown taken care of, you turn your attention to dementia riddled old man, we'll just call him Joe Biden, but he's nowhere to be seen. Now that the old droid has up and ran away, you and the other warriors split up to search for him, which is a bit of a pickle since this asshole doesn't give off life energy and you can't sense him. Nonetheless, you begin searching the rocky surroundings. Eventually you'll get bored and just throw an energy blast to the ground. Either the droid isn't here or he's going to hop out of hiding and try to absorb the blast. Luckily for you, option number 2 was the one to work out, but the droid just sucks up your tasty, wasty energy and yeets himself the fuck out of there again. The droid somehow escaped your grasp again, but this escape doesn't last long as the rest of the group finds the droid ambushing the Namekian. You then stand back and watch as Big Green fights the old man, and you can't help but feel like this is all too easy. Weren't these droids supposed to kill everybody? Maybe you all just became so ungodly powerful that they seem weak. Though, just as you're thinking this, the mystery kid from before returns, and you hear the boy get called by his name. Trunks. The same name as the brat you had with Bulma. But there's no way. The Super Saiyan who killed Frieza and his father, the time traveler who warned everyone of the androids, is your son? Before you can even process this revelation, Trunks begins wordly explaining that the androids you've been fighting aren't the same two androids from his timeline. As you question Trunks, the old droid notices Bulma flying in on a ship and takes the opportunity to blow her out of the sky and escape. Fuck you, dude. You're a dick. Trunks saves the Earth bitch, and she asks why Dr. Gero was there.
So, I thought you guys were fighting androids. Why was Dr. Gero here?
Who dat?
Scientist, worked for the Red Ribbon Army, adequate with robotics.
Oh! Hey, Mr. Can't Say! You may want to hear this!
You begin lecturing your future son on misinforming all of you, for wasting your time and allowing the old man to escape. But as you yell at the boy, Bulma reveals that she knows where to find Dr. Gero's lab, so you fly off after the mad scientist as Trunk trails behind you. Eventually you arrive to Gero's lab, where the other warriors are already at the door. Without hesitation, you use an energy blast to blow the door straight the fuck off, down to where you get to catch an eyeful of the real androids. Two angsty teenagers that somehow look even gayer and fruitier than your son. You honestly preferred the clown and the old man to this disappointment, but whatever. You stand there and watch the real androids question Dr. Gero. The pair seem to be unfazed by your presence, and they even kill the doctor themselves. But before anyone can even say a word to them, Trunks throws a temper tantrum and levels the lab with an energy blast. The droids still seem unfazed as the smoke clears, and they activate yet another droid, Android 16. The trio of droids then straight up ignore all of you and begin flying away like you're nothing. And you ain't having none of that shit, so you chase after the disrespectful toasters. When you catch up with the trio, you challenge them to a fight, but the disrespect continues as Android 16 and 17 ignore your request and just send Android 18 to fight you. The woman droid? Whatever. You'll dispose of her quickly and force the other droids to comply. There's no way the great Prince Vegeta could be challenged by a woman. Not in a million years. So, on the bright side, this is a massive win for feminists across the entire globe. You go, girls. On the downside, though, your arms are broken and Krillin is the only warrior there not to get his ass kicked. Filled with the rage of 1,000 suns, you fly off in a huff after Krillin heals you with a sensu bean. Your pride has been shattered for the millionth time, but at least this time, for real this time, there's absolutely zero possible way for you to feel any lower than this. First, a low-class warrior bests you, and now a woman. The only thing that could damage you more is if a literal shit-ass child were to pass you in power. But that's just impossible. So you at least have that, right, Vegeta? You have the undeniable knowledge that it can't get worse. Yeah, I know that knowledge ain't worth diddly shit anymore, so you spend your time coping in other ways. Namely, screaming and blowing shit up. Like a real man. As you do this, you feel a random surge of energy as the Namekian fights with what feels to be a combo of your own energy mixed with the energy of several other warriors you know. You fly off to the disturbance where you see Trunks, Piccolo, Tien, and Krillin. You demand an explanation and Piccolo obliges. He explains that yet another android has surfaced and this one is different from the rest. This android's name is Cell, and he's a bioengineered lifeform made up of the DNA and energy of some of the strongest warriors in the universe, and he's apparently stronger than the other androids, and he's from the future just like Trunks. So, after receiving this information, you fly off to continue screaming and blowing shit up. As you take a break to Aura Farm on a cliff, Trunks shows up and attempts to get you to train, but there ain't nothing he can say to dissuade you from your aura farming sesh. I mean, look at you, bruh. Peak. Suddenly, Kakarot appears fully healed, and he tells you about a place where you can cram an entire year's worth of training into just one day. This piques your interest, so you follow Kakarot and his brat to the hyperbolic time chamber, a room outside of time where 1 year inside the room only equates to 1 day outside. Kakarot then allows you to enter the chamber first alongside Trunks, where you spend an entire year training ruthlessly with your future son, pushing one another to your limits and achieving ultimate mastery over the Super Saiyan form, baby. When the two of you finally exit, you're given replacement armor and informed that Cell has absorbed Android 17, causing him to become even stronger, and his goal is to absorb Android 18 in order to become perfect. So, without further question, you fly off with Trunks to confront the new and improved Cell. This will be a great test of your power. By the time Kakarot and his brat exit the chamber, this fight will be long over. You fly headfirst at Cell's energy and stop short in front of the big green cockroach. However, the Bugman doesn't seem fazed in the slightest by your arrival. He doesn't see you as a challenge. That'll change real fucking quick. You begin tearing Cell a new one, rocking his booty harder than the clown from before. Like, you're just really giving it to this guy. You could have killed him by now, but you're a torturous bastard and you love playing with your food. Eventually, Cell stops fighting back as he realizes that he can't win by physical means. The Bugman then plays at your ego. Cell tries convincing you to allow him the privilege of absorbing Android 18, allowing him to become quote-unquote perfect. Cell pleads actually work. You know, he's trying to play you, but you've been kicking his ass without breaking a sweat thus far, so what's one more transformation? At the very most, he'll gain enough power to match you, and Princess Trunks could just step in to help if it gets to that point. So you stand down and allow Cell to absorb 18, much to the dismay of Trunks. Cell then finds Android 18 and rushes to absorb her, but Trunks gets in his way and fights with the monster. You step in to stop your future brat, to give the boy a well-earned spanking, but turns out he's been holding out on you. Trunks blasts you away from the fight, sending you flying into the ocean, where you stay for a beat, processing the fact that your own son just overpowered you.
This is a new feeling. Pride in someone else. Unfortunately, it's overshadowed by all this unyielding rage!
I've been so close for so long, and I can't take it anymore! 18! I'm coming! Solar flare!
My rage has blinded me!
Now, for the climax.
Just before you're able to return to the fight, Cell uses the solar flare technique, blinding everyone in its proximity and allowing him the perfect opportunity to absorb Android 18. As you regain your vision, a blinding green light surrounds you. When the smoke and aura finally clear, Cell stands before you, bearing his supposed perfect form. Krillin, by the way, Krillin's there too. Anyways, Krillin then launches an attack at Cell to no effect. So Cell does something we've all done before and just punch Krillin to the fucking dirt. You then stand next to Cell and confront him one last time, but once again, the Bugman isn't fazed by your attempts at intimidation. Cell even has the nerve to taunt you into attacking first, but your kick doesn't do anything, and Cell just swats you away. When you return, the newly confident android suggests that you use all of your energy for your next attack, because after this move, he won't give you any more freebies. So you oblige and you fly to the sky where you charge your most powerful attack yet, a move you've been honing for a while, the Final Flash. You unleash the attack, angling it just enough to avoid destroying the planet. Cell dodges at the last moment, but the attack still grazes him, and he's missing a chunk of his torso along with his arm. You didn't kill him, but he's definitely weaker now. You've all but won. There's no coming back from that injury. Is what you would be saying if Cell didn't just instantly regenerate his arm and torso. The Bugman then dismantles you in just a few punches, knocking you unconscious after he breaks your back. Hey, yo. When you awake, Krillin is kneeling over you and having healed you with a sensu bean. You're told that Trunks failed against Cell as well, but Cell spared the two of you for some reason. You fly to meet up with Trunks as he throws a temper tantrum at his loss. Like father, like daughter. Trunks explains that Cell just flew away without much of a hint as to his plans, and Krillin befriends Android 16. Cute. Confused as to what comes next, you return to the Capsule Corporation alongside a shit ton of other characters. You then just sit back and relax with everyone else as Android 16 undergoes repairs. As you watch TV with everyone, you all suddenly see Cell take over a news broadcast. The Bugman then takes out the anchor and introduces himself to the world. Cell explains just who he is and what he wants. The Bugman announces a world tournament. His grand idea is a competition of strength. Cell explains that he'll be the only competitor at this tournament and that everyone on Earth is allowed to participate. The rules are simple. Each and every warrior to show up to this tournament will face him one at a time until he's either dispatched of everyone or until he's defeated. If Cell wins, then the Earth will be destroyed. However, if he loses, then yippee, he'll be dead and everyone will be spared. He gives the Earth just 1 week to prepare for this event, 1 week from today. The Cell games will officially begin and the fight for Earth will be decided. With this newfound information, you rush to the entrance of the hyperbolic time chamber to wait for Kakarot and his brat to exit. However, when they finally do, you can't help but to be stunned. His son is a Super Saiyan now? His 11-year-old brat is wearing the legendary Super Saiyan form like it's nothing. So is Kakarot. They're just using the legend as if it's their base form. The two of them explain that they've mastered the form. They can sustain the transformation indefinitely without any loss of energy or stamina. Totally unfucking fair. The two low-class Saiyans then depart as you remain at the chamber, now waiting for Piccolo to exit so you can re-enter. There's no way you're going to let Kakarot's brat have a leg up on you, so you just wait. When Piccolo finally exits, you jump right into the chamber as quickly as possible, and you spend another year training, only this time you're completely alone. You eventually exit the chamber and wait out the remaining time for the Cell games to begin, and before you know it, the day of the tournament arrives. You fly off to the tournament grounds and arrive before any of the other warriors you know, though you aren't the first person here. For one, Cell is already there, and for two, a camera crew and a homeless man are there too. And much to your surprise, when the rest of Earth's defenders arrive, they allow the homeless man to fight Cell first. Just an average human who just so happens to be slightly stronger than other average humans. Shit, man, you'd be more comfortable sending fucking Yamcha to fight Cell over this schmuck. Regardless, you don't intervene and just watch on with a sly smile as the Macho Man wannabe gets bitch smacked into the side of a mountain. Unfortunately, however, the man survives this bitch smacking, so it wasn't as entertaining as it could have been. Whatever, you continue watching on as Kakarot finally steps to the plate to fight after doing absolutely nothing this entire arc. Like always, Kakarot is just stepping in at the last second to claim the win for himself. You know, the sloppy seconds of everybody else. Oh, man, I fucking hate this dude. Cell and Kakarot then begin fighting one another ruthlessly, and Cell even destroys the tournament ring as he changes the rules. Ring outs are no longer valid. Death matches only, baby. Even as Kakarot begins growing tired, and Trunks suggests tossing the warrior Senzu Bean to heal his wounds, you and every other fighter remain steadfast in your viewing. Not a one of you will even consider doing that idea. Kakarot is a true warrior, a true Saiyan, and someone like that doesn't accept outside help. Someone like that needs to see a battle to its natural conclusion. As much as you despise the big idiot, you know Kakarot has just as much Saiyan pride as yourself, and he'll see this battle through no matter what.
Or stop hinging the fate of the world on death matches!
I can't believe you're my son.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Kakarot isn't like you. He's a full-blooded Saiyan warrior. He'd throw that Senzu Bean back in your face because it's not the world that's at stake.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It's his Saiyan pride. He'll see this fight to the end without any of our help, even if it kills him.
I give up.
I'll kill him!
Alright, so disregard everything I just fucking said. Kakarot's a little beta cuck bitch boy who throws in the towel when things get tough. Kakacuck then sends out his own son to fight Cell, the 11-year-old nerd. Sure, the kid's a Super Saiyan, but what in the actual fuck? Whatever, Kakarot's logic sort of, kind of, maybe makes a bit of sense. He says that his son has been keeping up with all of them since he was born, and every time the brat gets pushed into a corner or gets angry, his power skyrockets. So you let it be and just watch on as the brat faces Cell. Hell, at the very least, Gohan's death will be the wake-up call Kakarot needs to end this himself. At first, the kid is holding his own against Cell, dodging most of the Bugman's attacks, though eventually Cell catches Gohan and begins crushing the boy's ribs. Kakarot realizes his mistake and prepares to take a Senzu Bean so he can re-enter the fight, but Cell snatches the magic beans from Krillin before Kakarot can do so. Cell then threatens to kill everyone there in front of Gohan, and even prepares to do so as he's ambushed by Android 16. The big metal lug then begins a self-destruct sequence in order to defeat Cell. But not a damn thing happens, and Trunks tells the droid that Bulma removed his bomb during repairs. Cell then destroys the droid anyways, and continues taunting Gohan. Cell then starts literally giving birth out of nowhere, and he shits out 7 blue miniature cells. Norio, Damian, Travis, Curtis, Dale, and Jonathan. Oh, and of course, Vegeta Jr. Cell then sicks his kids onto you and the other fighters as Gohan watches on. You're mostly fine and holding your own against the mini-Cell you're pitted against. Same goes for Trunks, Piccolo, and Tien. But Krillin, Yamcha, and Kakarot are getting their shit rocked. As you fight with the blue gremlins, Android 16's head suddenly lands at Gohan's feet, thanks to the homeless man from before. The decapitated android then speaks to Kakarot's brat, but just as the bot begins conversing with the boy, Cell steps in and crushes his head, putting an end to the Android 16 forever.
16, you loved life. You gave everything up to save it. And you were just an android. I let you die. I can't do that. I won't watch anymore. I feel it slipping. And I won't watch this anymore!
Thanks to Android 16's words and sacrifice, Gohan's ascended to a new level of power. A level of power beyond anything you've ever felt or ever hoped to feel. Gohan then yoinks the sensu beans back from Cell and destroys the 7 mini cells within just a few seconds. The boy then tosses Trunks the beans and your son heals up everyone who's been injured. You all then continue watching breathlessly as Gohan dismantles Cell in just a few moves, but even after Gohan has Cell on the ropes and nearly destroyed, he just allows the bug to regenerate. Gohan wants to keep playing with his food, a sentiment you know all too well. After Cell regenerates, Gohan hits him so damn hard that he pukes out Android 18 and reverts back to his second form. Cell now stands zero chance against yourself, let alone Gohan's new power. So being the sore loser he is, Cell activates his own powerful self-destruct sequence, a blast strong enough to destroy the planet and take you all with it. But Kakarot has other plans. The low-class warrior then does what he does best and steps in at the last minute to claim the win as his own. Kakarot uses his instant transmission technique to teleport Cell and himself away from Earth, causing the both of them to perish, or so you all think, but only Kakarot died. Within mere minutes, Cell returns to the battlefield with an even stronger energy. The Bugman then launches a blast straight for your son. Trunks is hit square in the chest and dies almost instantly as Cell explains his return. Thanks to Cell's enhanced healing factor, he was able to regenerate from a single cell that survived his self-destruction. And due to his Saiyan biology, he was returned not only to his perfect form, but he's even fucking stronger than before. Despite this, you don't care. The sight of your future son bleeding to death fills you with more rage than you've ever felt in your life, as you rush Cell with all of your might. But it's all pointless as Cell just swats you to the dirt. However, just before Cell is able to kill you, Gohan steps in and saves your life, though his left arm is brutalized in the process. Cell and Gohan then both mutually go fuck it as they both charge a Kamehameha beam. The pair of warriors release their energy as an epic beam struggle ensues, and Gohan seems to be on the back foot. I mean, he is down an arm now thanks to you. The kid even seems to be speaking to himself as he struggles. You can't take it any longer. Cell's never-ending taunting, this conflict as a whole, you're tired of it, and you're not watching anymore. The other warriors can do what they want. Your son just died, and you aren't going to sit back to watch Kakarot's son die too. You fly behind Cell and unleash the final bit of energy you have, causing just enough damage to distract Cell for a few moments. Gohan then seizes the opportunity you've given him as he releases every ounce of energy he has, and before you know it, the light show is over, and Cell's energy has completely faded. Kakarot's brat did it. Gohan won. The other fighters carry the now unconscious Gohan to safety and promise to revive Trunks as you stay behind. Though after brooding for a bit, you return to Capsule Corp and you're told that Kakarot refused to be wished back to life. Kakarot just doesn't want to keep endangering the Earth. I mean, you went there because of his brother. Frieza went there to take revenge on him, and the androids were created with the sole purpose of just killing him. So Kakarot has a point, and you all can't help but just accept it. Kakarot's dead. For good. But the universe moves on. The homeless guy takes credit for Gohan's win, Krillin ends up marrying the android that broke your arms, and Trunks was revived. Everyone then gathers at Capsule Corp to wish Trunks farewell as he returns to his timeline. Earth then enters an era of peace, an era without Kakarot, an era where you raise your son and fall in love with Bulma. The era of Goku has ended. For now.
Make sure to tell future me she raised you right.
Oh, I've got a lot to tell you.
I'm gonna miss you, Trunks.
Have a safe trip back to the future, McFly. Goodbye, everyone. I'll never forget you.
Well, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed this video and want to see us do any other POVs with any other Dragon Ball characters, then leave a like, comment, and subscribe while you're down there. And if you really enjoyed, then you should go watch all of our other videos that we've done on other characters. I promise you'll giggle and shit if you go check them out. Anyways, that's all for me today. Fuck you, suck on my nuts, and goodbye. Mwah.